So I often get caught in this trap, thinking that my ministry depends on my efforts, or that it depends on my performance, and that will be contingent on how effective I am in God's kingdom. And what this does is it starts to breed these feelings inside of me to where if I don't hear people's accolades, or if I don't earn their respect, then I'm not doing my due diligence in the kingdom. You know, there was this point in the Apostle Paul's ministry where he had been receiving criticism from some false teachers in the city of Corinth, and they started to accuse him of being weak in presence and weak in his speaking abilities. And he gives this incredible response. They call him weak, and he says, you're right, I am weak. And praise God that I'm weak, because my weakness displays God's greatness. Really gets me thinking. You know, when I was a kid, I would hold my thumb up into the air, and I would use it to kind of block out the sun. And if you move your thumb close enough to your face, your thumb can totally eclipse the sun in front of you. It gave me the illusion that I had the controller, that my thumb was about as big as the sun. Well, it's interesting. Let's put it in perspective for a minute, because the sun is about 93 million miles away from the earth. And the earth is about 8,000 miles across in its width. And now, to put it in perspective, the sun is about 900,000 miles across in width. So if the sun was the size of a basketball, that would make the earth about the size of the head of a pin. Now, that means that if the sun were hollow, you could fit about 1 million Earths inside of it. Kind of interesting that I would think that my thumb could block out this enormous flaming ball in the sky 93 million miles away. But I think that we often do that, don't we? We often have this illusion that our strength and our efforts will accomplish what God needs to accomplish. You know, it's interesting, in 2 Corinthians chapter 4, Paul says, but we have this treasure in jars of clay to show that this all-surpassing power is from God and not from us. Really has me thinking these days, like my efforts are really worth anything, when the truth is that God says, I've given you the privilege to work for my kingdom, but you have to get your thumb out of the way.